Ohayo, my oni-chan.
As we are in the middle of experiencing what we can only call the renaissance of romance anime, or the RRA, not the Ronda Revenue Authority, it would be criminal for such a well-established distinguished young gentleman as myself to not dive into the endless pit of cute anime girls. With the stacked lineup of summer 2024, with titles such as Pseudo Harem, 2.5D Seduction, I Wanna Fuck My Toaster, Days with My Stepsister, Days with Twin Sisters, Days with My Sister, who is actually a reincarnation of one of my patients before both of us died under unfortunate circumstances and got birthed as twins by my favorite idol, Too Many Losing Heroines, and the most anticipated light novel adaptation in a long while. Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. So the biological sister of the main character can NTR her in the second episode.
He and the heroine are making out?
No way.
Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian is your typical high school romance if it actually was good. It follows this half-Russian, half-Japanese girl named Alicia Mikhahovna Kujo, who is known as the Solitary Princess. Isn't that just a fancier way to tell someone they have no friend? Anyways, the main boy in this story is this slightly above average looking dude, but still very much falls into the generic anime protagonist category. So what element connects these two very different characters for a beautiful romance to bloom in the near future? Russia. Alya, as a half-Russian individual, of course speaks the language of the motherland just as perfectly as she speaks Japanese. And the chances of a Japanese high school boy to know such a foreign language is around as close as seeing an increase in the Japanese birth rate, so she takes freedom in flirting in various ways, hiding it behind the Russian paywall. But it just so happens that this specific random Japanese high school boy does speak Russian because he has put in copious amounts of hours into the critically acclaimed first-person shooter Counter-Strike. Anyways, they fuck around doing stupid shit together in normal romance fashion, but she is not the girl we are here for today. This season of anime has had a very distinct theme throughout all the various shows. Sisters. No, not normal sisters. Sussy Sisters.
Big brother, I want you to give me your big, juicy, thick and drench me with your hot, sticky until I'm gasping for it.
It seems like this is not only the renaissance of romance, but also the renaissance of Japan's favorite thing. Incest. Japan's fascination with what many would call controversial topics is not something new. The only reason manga and anime aren't published and streamed as other sources of entertainment is just because of the dark side of it. The side every non-anime fan thinks every anime fan is like. The topic of sisters who share a little bit too much affection for their brother is more mainstream in anime than shonen MC screaming for a power-up. And the Sussy sister we're gonna take a look at today became a very controversial figure on Twitter after this specific scene was aired on primetime television. Yuki Suou, the biological little sister of our main character Masashika Kuse. Why do they not share the last name? Because they don't want to. Fuck you. You might ask yourself, what makes this specific sister cause such an upset when shows like Oriimo and Ero Manga Sensei exist out there? What is it that makes this ordinary looking, slightly under average height high school girl be so different to bring up the "is incest actually okay" debate once more? Is it the fact that she is a biological sister? No. Is it the fact that she had her dogs out for everyone to see in the second episode? Maybe. Is it the fact that her relationship with her brother feels too realistic? Yes. The bond they share is always on the edge of dipping into the Oshinoko fanbase, but somehow always tips back into a normal brother-sister relationship. It's a very weird dynamic that is displayed, which creates this clear separation in opinions. One side thinks it's not a big deal, while the other side wants to see her crucified. Frankly, Yuki is a little piece of shit, doing everything in her power to rile up her much more level-headed brother.
So, what'll it be? Are you stealing your sister's first time on second base?
As she is from a very distinguished family, with a grandpa who got a stick up his ass since Duke Dennis and MLK did a speech together, she somehow ended up a massive closet weeb. and is definitely the kind of weeb you need to hide in your closet. The only aura she got is a green stinky one. Every interaction between them feels like the most genuine sibling relationship ever, much more than most so-called siblings in anime. They go shopping together, eat together, oh, homegirl is here now, wait, someone save her! And all other sibling activities. But then the very seductive and frankly weird joke, gag, sexual harassment comments makes you think, they are just siblings, right? Maybe the culture is different in Japan, but if my sister told me any of this, I would straight up kill myself. I really thought about any situation where this might not be uncomfortable in real life, and I've come to as many conclusions as I have functional brain cells. 0. Yes, calm down. It's not meant to be realistic, headass. I know, but why? Is it meant to be a love rival for Alya? I mean, yes, she got jealous of their close bond in like the first episode, but also dropped that whole train of thought almost instantly. Was that subplot really necessary then? Why does Alya's sister not share any physical attributes? Is she adopted? By the Russian government? Putin? Does Putin like anime? There are so many unanswered questions and allegations, so I've come to the conclusion that I will stand small and protect Yuki with the information we have gathered over these 12 episodes. First, let's use
Impenetrable logic.
and figure out why such a sister would want to behave like this and why her actions are totally normal and not weird or suspicious in any way or form. Yuki's first steps into deep water was merely 3 seconds after her introduction when she committed the biggest crime of them all, being cringe.
Oh, you're calling weird, you weirdo fool? My brain's too big for someone like you.
In this same episode, she would deliver the most iconic Twitter post for about 2 days with a very unusual way of waking up her brother.
Good morning, my brother.
But as her defendant, I have come to the conclusion that this was just a pure act of help. If my client did not wake up Mr. Kuse, he would miss out on precious education by coming late to school. She was merely looking out for her older brother so he would not end up on the streets at 20 years old. This particular statement that got caught on tape was also a mere direction of help. Help you get off the bed and start your morning as a good student who is ready to learn. What was that? Additional footage? Okay. So it seems like we got some additional footage.
You pop a boner on me?
Alright, Your Honor, my client is guilty as hell. Exhibit number 2 comes in the form of purposely flashing her birthday suit to her own brother. Many would already throw accusations at this poor woman without even hearing her side of the story. Your Honor, my client was merely performing an epic prank that will leave a great impression and memory on Mr. Kuse that we both could look back on and laugh at when we grew old. After all, memories are all we have at the end of the day. When you sit old, alone and need to piss out of a tube, do you really want to rob her and her family of such fond memories? During this moment, she not only created an impactful event, but even went out of her way to break the fourth wall for us as the spectators' enjoyment. She has only produced positive outcomes and even thought about every party involved. Exhibit number 2.5 only comes about 5 minutes after the previous event, when Mr. Kuse breaks the news that he won't be running with his sister to become student council president, but rather chose the international silver-haired tsundere route. The comment that leaves my client's mouth can be interpreted in a way where NTR or netorare means cheating, implying that these two shared a romantic relationship where Mr. Kuse cheated on Miss Suou. But this is not the case in this instance, as she means NTR as in, no, I don't want to have sex with my brother. Once again, a clear misunderstanding that should not be exaggerated to something it's not. Yuki has stated clearly, without a single stutter, that she does indeed love her brother. Many said that this was the nail in the coffin. She's cooked. It's over. But, Your Honor, she never once mentioned in a romantic way. Is this the face you make after telling someone you love a person dearly? I would beg to differ. Even if she would have proclaimed romantic feelings, this was a mere trick trying to gaslight Miss Kujo into admitting her own feelings. A masterful display of argumentative speaking. The final exhibit is not one of great value, but should still be handled accordingly to ensure that my client is free of accusations and this video can be longer so I can earn more money. Anyways, this specific scene introduces a new character in Ayano Kimishima, who is the personal attendant of Miss Suou. As a devoted servant of the Suou household, this individual is a perfect witness of my client's innocence. Now for some words from Miss Kimishima.
It was such a masculine claim. I was worried my ovaries would explode.
It seems like we don't have any footage from this interaction. And with that, I declare my defense of client Yuki Suou successful. Should I low-key make this a series where I try to defend even more problematic characters? Anyways, thank you for watching and don't forget to check out the Discord and Twitter. Okay, see ya!